is weekly chat time once again. I call it weekly chat and not midweek chat because I never get it done in the middle of the week. It's Thursday, so I'm a day late, but it's all good. Weekly chat it is, and the three topics today, I've forgotten who picked them. I know it's always mentioned in people's videos, but first topic is, do you keep Blu-rays and DVDs you don't like? Not really, but at the same time, it depends. I kind of have a weird thing about it. Similar to James in a way in terms of kind of collecting films, but not to the extremes that he goes to where he'll keep a film he absolutely hates. But, well, I don't know. I mean, the worst film I've ever seen is Rabbit Test, but I still want to own it. One, just to say I own the worst film I've ever seen, and two, because Michael Keaton is technically in it, and I'd love to own every film that he's in. He's my favourite actor. But going to something that I've been collecting more recently, the Eureka Massive Cinema series. I have about 21 of those titles now, and there was going to be about 100 of them by the end of this year or the beginning of next year, and I kind of see it as a viable thing to collect all of them. I'd love to, because there's so many great titles coming out over the next few months that are just amazing, and there's some great ones at the beginning of the series, in the middle, and you know, every film I've watched on a Massive Cinema Blu-ray has been fantastic, and so I want to collect all of them and try and complete the set kind of thing, because it's a bit more viable than, say, getting every Criterion, which is almost impossible, I think. But the thing with say if I do complete the collection, 100 films, there's got to be a few I'm going to really not like, but I'll keep them anyway because it's part of the set. And I do blame Eureka for being very sneaky and appealing to stupid collectors like me who like to kind of collect all the numbered series, and if they didn't have the numbers on them I wouldn't be interested in collecting all of them. But if there was a film that I didn't like, I'd still keep it because I know that it's important and that every film they release is for a reason. It's because it's been critically acclaimed from some area, And one example, in fact I'll just grab it very quickly now, is a steelbook version that I got a couple of months ago, and it is The Passion of Joan of Arc. Now this is one of the best editions I've seen for any film. You've got a steelbook in there, you've got a 100-page booklet. I mean, the steelbook is just gorgeous. I absolutely love it, one of my favourites. And the film itself, it's a silent film, and it's lauded as one of the best of all time. But for me, it was just such a depressing watch that it was just, the lead performance is one of the best I've ever seen, but it's not a film I'm going to revisit, many more times. But it's such a great addition. It has like so many versions of the film. It has so many extras, and it's a fantastic addition. And to me, it's like collecting. You collect stamps, and oh, I got this stamp. I'll put it in the book. Are you really going to get that much enjoyment out of that one stamp? No, but as a collection, it gets bigger and better and all this kind of thing. And you're not really going to be sitting down and watching that stamp for like 3-4 hours and getting loads of enjoyment out of it. But it's a bit different with Blu-rays and things. But things like this, I like to say that I own a piece of film history, and this definitely is a piece of film history. So with the Massive Cinema series, if I come across a film I really don't like or even hate, I'll probably still keep it just because it's a part of film history. Maybe my kids will grow up and be interested in film and seek it out for themselves. Maybe they'll like it, I don't know. The next topic, is there any film that you want to see a remake for, and is there any remake for which you would refuse to watch? Not really, I don't mind remakes, it is what it is. It doesn't really take away from the original. I mean, I wouldn't like to see a remake of Star Wars with the same characters. I wouldn't like to see a Back to the Future remake, like they were trying to get Justin Bieber to do that. That I would refuse to watch. But generally, I mean, the new Spider-Man films, I just thought, why is this so? The thing with the Amazing Spider-Man was that the producers were like, the great thing about the Amazing Spider-Man is we're really going to get to see what it was like, what it's like for Peter Parker to be like a high school teenager in school. And I was like, what do you mean we're going to finally get to see what he's like in high school? That was the first film, was the Sam Raimi film. And it just felt like that whole film they were just trying to find a way to kind of make Uncle Ben's story arc, as good as it was in the Sam Raimi film. And they failed. They couldn't use the line with great power comes great responsibility, and so they just tanked as far as that whole aspect of the film was concerned. And actually, there's a deleted scene from The Amazing Spider-Man 2 where the line with great power comes great responsibility is used. They finally just thought, we're gonna have to use it. We're gonna have to just use it, And I just feel like those two sequels, the Amazing Spider-Man films, I watched them both. they were enjoyable and you could pass the time watching them, but they were just such rehashes for me. I wasn't a fan. And my battery's running out, so I'm going to grab the charger and continue. So yeah, remakes, it for me just really depends on how you do it really. I mean, The Fly from 1986, I think it was, with Jeff Goldblum, David Cronenberg film. That's such a great film. I haven't seen the original, but you know, The Fly is great. The Thing is a remake from The Thing from Another World. That's an amazing remake. I mean, they can, you know, you can do it if you kind of... The Magnificent Seven, there's a great example. Seven Samurai, to me, is the best film ever made. I just think it's absolutely perfect. It's just the greatest epic masterpiece I've ever seen. And it was only, I think, a few years later that I think it was Yul Brynner who decided he wanted to kind of make an American Western version, which kind of worked because Akira Kurosawa was very influenced by the work of John Ford, and at times some of his period samurai pieces feel very Western-like. So the whole Seven Samurai story worked very well in The Magnificent Seven, and they had a great cast, and you know, it was different enough, but still retained the spirit of the, you know, the original, and it, you know, they're both great films. So you really can do a remake right, but you can also do a remake really wrong. I mean, was it Nightmare on Elm Street remake I saw? That was absolute bollocks. There's been a few stinkers, you know, but it can be done. Is there any film that you want to see a remake for? I don't know, really. I'd like to see someone try Seven Samurai again. I mean, I don't know. Again, actually, I don't think it would even... I mean, even if you did like a samurai remake, I think it would lose some of the charm if it was widescreen and in colour. Do you know what I mean? And in HD. Well, not... I guess film is high definition, but I mean, you know... maybe it'd just be too overproduced and look too good. I don't know. There's an appeal to Seven Samurai for me that it looks black and white and it's 4:3, and you can almost imagine that they filmed that back in, you know, whenever it was, like 400 years ago. The story's set. But yeah, I don't know. Remakes, you know, it can be done, but yeah, I don't get offended by them like some people. Like Total Recall and RoboCop, two recent ones I can think of. I went to Total Recall and I liked it because they did something different. They didn't just repeat the story. They went a different route. You know, that whole thing with the big machine that goes through the center of the earth. Oh, that was awesome. A great, cool idea. And for me, I really liked that Total Recall film. Some of the production design was awesome. You know, overall, it wasn't great where it went at the end of the film. Bit predictable, bit, you know, samey. But they tried something different, you know, and I liked that. RoboCop, again, they tried different things with it, and I quite liked it. I know people thought it was shit, but I thought it was a decent, you know, enjoyable film. Nothing that even comes near to the original film, but you know, it was what it was, and it does nothing to sully the spirit or, you know, the legacy of the original film. So whatever. Last topic is why limit Blu-rays to a couple of thousand copies. I've talked about this on my my video, top 10 things that pissed me off, which I posted a couple of days ago. A few of you have really liked, and a few of you have kind of taken a few shots at me for, which is fair enough. I mean, everyone has their opinions, but I talked about, you know, these limited edition steelbooks, you know, that are coming out, and they're like 1,000 copies, and they're selling instantly, and then they're getting put on eBay for ridiculous prices, and I say how that pisses me off. But then I also kind of went back on that and said, you know, it's the company, you know, it's independent companies who do this, and it's because, you know, the cost of just, you know, if you were to say, I want to make one steelbook, you know, have all the artwork done, have it all printed, the disc and everything, it would cost you so much money. But if you do it in bulk, you know, I'm sure most people know this, then it's more affordable. And, you know, they can't do too big of a bulk because then they don't know, you know, if everyone is going to buy it, and so it works out for that business. Now, there is the argument that, you know, these things are getting bought and then sold on for like 3 times, 4 times the price, even more, and people are paying it, so the company should recognize this and just keep reprinting them, stuff like that. I agree with that. I do think that if something sells out really fast, then just make some more of them. You know, I mean, the whole limited thing, it's a great angle. It's a great way to make quick money, because when someone sees limited to 1,000, they're going to jump on it. Me, myself included. You know, I jumped on the I'm trying to get the Blue is the Warmest Color Plain Archive edition, the Wrestler Plain Archive edition, and sometimes it's worth it and it's cool. I'm not really about, you know, trying to get the most rare things. It's kind of cool, but it just, you know, it is what it is. But I do agree that some companies should probably just kind of pull their finger out and say, right, let's just reprint some more and make some money, because we're not making money off this, whereas people on eBay are making far more money than we are on it. So again, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I imagine that it really depends on a case-by-case basis on whoever these companies are, how much money they have, the budget to sell them on, and then they have to pay for the licensing. Licensing is also a thing, because you can pay for a license to distribute a film, as far as I'm aware, and if it's unlimited, then you've got to pay a lot more money. If you say, right, I'm just going to sell 1,000 copies, then I would imagine that the price would be lower, because I know that Massive Cinema, Eureka, they released the Late Mizoguchi set last year, and it was 8 films by Mizoguchi, Japanese director, with a book, box set, and it was limited to 2,000 copies because they were losing their license for those films, and so that was the last print run kind of thing. So I'm thinking it's down to rights, licensing, as well as kind of supply and demand. Yeah, it's a shame, but it's just the way it is sometimes. So there you go, there's my thoughts on the 3 topics this week. Hope you enjoyed. Check out everyone else's videos. We have Ian, James, and all the other guys who do it every now and again. There's the regulars, there's the non-regulars, myself included. There's a non-regular, but I'm trying to keep up with them. Yeah, but anyone who's done it so far, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. You can go check out their midweek chats along with my weekly chat. And last week I talked about Facebook. I said that I was thinking about kind of leaving my Facebook fan page, which I didn't like calling it a fan page, but the Facebook page that you like, and then I post updates on what videos I'm putting up, and not a lot of people are seeing those because you have to pay now to promote those posts. So I just made a separate account called Luke RazorwireReviews on Facebook. It's a Facebook profile, so if you want to add me on there, you can add me on there, and it's very simple. Just go to facebook.com/RazorwireReviews. I changed it from the Facebook page and did a little bit of jiggery pokery, and all you have to do is facebook.com/RazorwireReviews. The same thing's in the end of this video with my little outro. And add me on there. I will accept anyone. Obviously if you annoy me or you start sending me abuse, I'll delete you, but add me, add away, and I'll accept, because again, I know a lot of people have added me on my personal account and I haven't accepted, but anything's fair game. Just talk about movies, and that's cool. Luke RazorwireReviews on Facebook, and I'm having a lot of fun on there actually, because I'm posting stuff and people are responding, and we're getting some debates going. I've been talking about my top lists and stuff like that, and what films I'm watching, and posting links to videos as well. So if you want to keep updated on everything, then go add me over there. Thank you for watching this video. More to come this week. I've got things I'm working on and editing right now, so there'll be quite a few over the next couple of days. Hope you enjoy them. Hope you enjoyed this, and see you next time. I am out of here.
He says he's really cool, but I think he's a tool. Even though I'm sure he's a quite nice guy, really. He's a quite nice guy, really.